What's going on, guys? Ernest Wills here, doing a video for you today. Today is, I don't even know. I don't. I think it's May the 10th. And so today I'm going to do a video about the gold silver ratio. So, historically, the gold silver ratio has been somewhere between 1 to 10. No, that's not true. 1 to 15 and 1 to 20, meaning that for every ounce of gold, with that same ounce of gold, you can purchase somewhere between 15 to 20 ounces of silver. So that's been the historical ratio, and that is because that was about the rate to which you could take gold and silver out the ground. For every 1 ounce of gold that would come out of the ground, you would get somewhere between 15 to 20 ounces of silver. Now, today that's no longer the case. That ratio has fallen below 1 to 10. I think it's 1 to 9. I think Silver Report Uncut reported on that today recently. But the reason why I want to talk about the gold to silver ratio is because the price of gold and silver should directly reflect the amount of availability. So if for every 1 ounce of gold that you can mine out of the ground, you pull out also 9 to 10 ounces of silver, that means that the price of gold should be about 9 to 10 times the price of silver. So that means that with silver being at $16 an ounce, gold should be at $160. It should be either that or the other way around. If gold is at $1,200 an ounce, then silver should be at about 120. Now, I think it's the latter, and the reason why is because gold is gold at 1200 is way too cheap. I know people think that it's expensive, but again, we have hyperinflated in this country already. We just done it very, very slowly. We've been pretty much in hyperinflation mode since we've gone off the gold standard in 1971. At that time, gold was about 30 something, somewhere between 30 $50 an ounce, and now it's over $1,200 an ounce. That's a ridiculous increase in the nominal price of gold. So in my opinion, that's already hyperinflated. Now, is again, we know that it's not gold that has increased in value, but dollars that have decreased in value. In 1980, 0.13 ounces of gold would buy you a Big Mac from McDonald's. Today, in 2017, 0.13 ounces of gold buys you a Big Mac. It doesn't mean that the price of gold has gone up. It means that the value of dollars have gone down. And so gold should be worth a lot more. The reason why it's not here in America, I believe one of the reasons why, is because we export our debt. So the Federal Reserve, they print money and they use that money to prop up markets. Now, a lot of the currency, I'm sorry, not money, currency. They print currency, but a lot of the currency they print doesn't stay here. There is only about 1/3 of the dollars printed in America. Only about 1/3 of those dollars are still here. The rest of those dollars are around the world. And if those dollars were to flood back, it would obviously cause the price of goods and services to triple. If those dollars were to come back, meaning that those countries and the people who had possession of the dollars, they, just decided to buy up assets here, so send those dollars back here. So that's one reason why I believe that the price of gold should be higher than what it is. The other reason is because of the M2 money supply. We've already been over that. The M2 money supply is 13.5 or $6 trillion. That's way too much. If you divide 13.5 trillion by the amount of gold that our country has in reserve, which is about 300 million, that would put gold at about a little bit over $50,000 an ounce. So it's not that gold should be $160 an ounce, but it's that silver should be a lot more than what it's worth. Now, that is the ratio as far as pulling it out of the ground. For 1 ounce of gold, you get 9 to 10 ounces of silver. Now, the above ground ratio, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that there is more gold above ground today worldwide than silver. The reason why is because silver's been destroyed after it's been mined. It's been used in so many different types of technology, different types of industrial uses, that type of thing. Gold pretty much hasn't been destroyed. Gold has been preserved. And so throughout the course of time, thousands of years, the gold that has been mined has been kept. It's just been transferred from one location to another. Silver is not the case. On this tablet that I'm doing this video on, silver. Your phone, silver. Your television, silver. All these different electronic devices plus different types of machinery all have silver, and so that silver is being used in these devices. So much of the silver is gone. And so that being the case, silver should actually be more than gold. So if we take gold's current price, $1,200 roughly, silver should be about that. And that's actually, I think silver's worth more than that, but that's about what it should get you today. The average 2-week salary in America is about $1,000 per 2 weeks. And the value of your work, we've already discussed this in a previous video, the value of your work is about 1/10 of an ounce of silver per day. So a full day's work, whatever you're doing, whatever that type of work is, whether it's you're working like me, teaching, doing construction, business owner, whatever that is, the time that you expend doing that work is about the same amount of time that it takes to mine and purify 1/10 of an ounce of silver. So it's an exchange of time. And so 1/10 of an ounce of silver times 5 weekdays, 2-week period, that's 1 full ounce. So at that point, 1 full ounce should be about $1,000 based on time. Now, if that's the case, then obviously silver should be worth a lot more than what it is. And so the reason it's not is because, again, the futures market, they print off these paper contracts and they dump them onto the market. That's the reason. That's one of the reasons why silver's been crashing the past couple, 2-3 weeks. The other reason is because of the price of oil. Again, we discussed before that the silver is not priced based on supply and demand, but silver's priced based on cost of production. And so the banks cannot drive the price down lower than the cost of production. If they did, then the mines would shut down and we would no longer have a supply of silver at all, so demand would skyrocket. So they can't push it down too low. That being said, if you follow the price of oil, for about the past couple of years now, the price of silver and gold and oil have done virtually the same exact thing. If you look past couple weeks, silver and gold has been crashing, so has oil. If you look today, silver and gold had a bit of a rebound, so did oil. So the banks that are manipulating the price of gold and silver, they're following oil very closely. And so please remember that currently, in the paradigm that we live in right now, silver and gold is priced according to their cost of production, not the fundamental prices, which should be supply and demand, which should be availability, which should be amount of physical silver and gold that's moving. So I don't know if y'all can hear the rain, but I'm in St. Louis. We've had some floods down here, and it's raining again, so hopefully it's not too bad. But that should be the reason, that should be what identifies silver's true value, but it doesn't, because of the big banks. But if you notice, if you pay attention, they're following oil. Gold and silver go up, oil's going up. Gold and silver go down, oil's going down. They're following the cost of production. So even though the ratio is 1 to 9, 1 to 10, which means that if gold is $1,200 an ounce, silver should be at least $120 an ounce. It's not, because they're not basing it on supply and demand, they're basing it on cost of production. That being said, the most value for your money is silver. It's not even close. Nominally speaking, as far as the ratio is concerned, 1 ounce of silver is equivalent to about 1/10 of an ounce of gold. But if you look at prices, 1 ounce of silver is $16 spot today. 1/10 of an ounce of gold is about 120. So which would you rather buy? I mean, it's really not even a question. It's obviously silver. So not because silver is a better metal than gold. It has more uses than gold, but not necessarily that it's better. But it's more value for your money. Times are tough for a lot of people. A lot of people are struggling. I was reading an article by Zero Hedge not too long ago, and it said that about 50% of Americans can't afford to write a $500 check in an emergency. I used to be in that number. Myself and my family, we used to be in that number, but because I educated myself financially, I was able to make some better financial decisions over these past few years. And so now we are able to do a lot more than that at a moment's notice. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But it's very unfortunate that, people are in that situation financially. And so knowing that it's hard out here for a lot of people. Crime is going up. Crime goes up because one of the reasons is because of poverty. Poverty leads to crime. Studies show. So it's hard for a lot of people, and so silver is the great equalizer. Most anybody can afford silver. Not a lot of people can afford gold. Not a lot of people can afford 1/10 of an ounce or even a gram. But silver at $16 an ounce, anybody can afford it. Especially anybody watching this video. Pretty sure you can afford it. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Look at the value of silver, comparing it to the ratio that is coming out of the ground right now. And I do believe that ratio is continuing to shrink. I'm going to be doing a little bit more research and figuring out if that ratio is shrinking, and at one point silver comes out of the ground at a 1-to-1 ratio with gold. But we know today that there is more above ground gold than there is silver, which means silver should be worth more than gold nominally priced today. So that said, silver is just a better value. It's not even close. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you some more information to chew on, to think about, to consider. Again, if you are looking for a reputable place to get your silver and your gold, please consider ISN. We do a phenomenal job of providing precious metal services to those interested parties. We send the gold and silver straight to your house. So I guess I will catch y'all tomorrow. Hope y'all have a blessed Thursday. And remember, gold and silver is real money. This stuff that we call money, that's dollars. It's not. They're not money. They're backed by our government. Our government is insolvent. Our government cannot pay its bills. Our government has raised the debt ceiling once again, and they're gonna raise it again in September, and they're gonna raise it again the next time. And that debt we have to pay back in future taxation. They putting us on the hook, not them, us, because we fund the government with our tax dollars. And so, to protect yourself from just mass inflation, from them raising debt and printing all this currency, get yourself some gold and silver. It's all about protection, all about wealth preservation. Not financial advice, just information I'm putting out there. Always remember, y'all, gold and silver is real money. Everything else is credit. God bless. Peace out.